everybody, it's Emily Dark Schooling, and let's talk about my plans and goals for 2024. Well, I have been thinking on this most of the month, and I'm going to go ahead and talk about what my reading goals and plans are, and also some life goals and things. So I want to start with, what is my word of the year going to be? I don't think I'm going to change my mind at this point. I've gone back and forth a few different times. I had several words that I'm like, these would all fit really well for me right now. But the one I'm going to go with is fearless. My word this year is going to be fearless because I feel very anxious most of the time, but also just like going into an election year, everything feels very heavy right now. And I want to try to focus on being more powerful and less fearful. So fearless is my word of the year. Now let's go into the rest of it. So my reading goals, I've done 100 books for the last several years, so I decided to up it a little bit. So this year my reading goal number is 120 books. Feels very doable. I went way over that this year, so I'm thinking I should be able to hit that pretty easily. And if I feel like this is a struggle at all, I will pull it back down for the next year. But for 2024, I think 120 feels like a good rounded number. I will, of course, be participating in the Build Your Library Reading Challenge. I've been doing that for, I don't know how many years now, 6 years? And I've always enjoyed doing that, so I'm going to definitely do that again this year. I even set it up to be like right in my wheelhouse because it's a historical themed challenge this year, so I'm looking forward to participating in that. I'm still on the fence, but I think I might do the buzzword challenge too. I did it once a few years ago and was not successful. And I did the alphabet challenge the last 2 years, and I've been thinking I don't want to do that again this year, so I like having a secondary reading challenge. I don't need to, but it's just, I don't know, a way to keep things fun and interesting. So I think I might do the buzzword reading challenge. Kayla just announced it a week or so ago, and I watched that video and was like, I think I could do it. So I'm tentatively planning on doing that. If I feel after the first 2 months though like it's like too hard to keep up, then I'll probably drop it. But for now, I'm going to go for it. I'm of course going to continue reading my shelves. This year I did the whole like TBR jar thing where every month I picked a card that had a prompt on it that was geared toward like a lot of things that live on my shelves. I buy a lot of books, and it's frustrating sometimes that I can't read everything. Like there's too many things to read. So this is a way to like get me to pick things up off my shelves. So I'm going to definitely continue that in 2024. I really enjoyed doing it this year. I think it was a great way to force myself to pick things up because like I read a lot of things this year that have been just lingering on my shelves for way too long. So it's nice to have a way to push myself that way. So I'm definitely going to keep doing that. I'm also going to try really hard to be intentional with my purchases, with the ARCs I request. I have a tendency to want everything. All of it sounds good. Give me all the things. And then I get overwhelmed and I don't read any of it. And why do I do that? So I'm going to try really hard to be super intentional with what I request for ARCs, with what I pre-order, so that I'm not bringing in a lot of stuff that I'm not necessarily going to enjoy. I think I did okay with this last year. I still ended up picking up too many things, but I think I was better at my purchases because I used to just buy all of it. Like, everything sounds good. I'll just buy all the things. And then I own a lot of stuff that I'm just never going to pick up because like that's not a thing that I read. Like I own a lot of thrillers and I don't read that many thrillers. And I don't know why I keep buying them. But like I'm working on more intentional book purchasing. I'm also going to be doing 12 recommendations by 12 friends. I've already talked about this in that video, but I really wanted to make this really happen. So I'm going to be very intentional about it. I specifically chose from the recommendations you gave me things that I would already interested in or books that were definitely things that sounded interesting to me. I want to be more really intentional about one a month. So I'm going to like be adding that to my monthly TBRs where I just pull one out of a jar and that's the book I have to read this month. And that will hopefully keep me from forgetting that those are books that I need to read. Basically, my reading mantra going into 2024 is be intentional. Like, try to focus on what I really want to read. Try to focus on the things that I need to read for whatever task. And, you know, just being intentional. Like that, maybe that should be my word of the year too. Be intentional. Now, as far as other life goals go, I don't have a lot of things to talk about here. But the two things that are like really important that I want people to know about to keep me from like not doing it is I really want to stay off of social media more. I have a problem where I use my phone a lot. My phone is very important for various reasons. I need it for work, for checking my email and keeping up with things like that. I need to promote my business, so I use social media for that as well, although I've not been great at that, but I do use it for that. I use it for keeping up like various things business-wise, but I also use it for audiobooks. I listen to audiobooks a lot, and so I have several apps for that on my phone. So the problem I have is that if I'm holding my phone for any purpose, I'm more likely to hop on social media for like, I just want to check something quick. And then like an hour later, I'm like, oh, oops, I didn't mean to do that. So like one of the things I did, and it's kind of hard to see, but on my home screen, I've basically removed social media. I still have Instagram on my home screen because that's most of where I work and promote things. So like that's going to stay for now, but if I find that that's a problem, I will probably hide it as well. But I've basically hidden all my social media off my home screen, so they're harder to get to. And I moved all my book apps, all my like audiobook things, Hoopla and Libby and Everand and Audible, they're all on the home screen now, as well as Storygraph and Goodreads. So I'm hoping that that will keep me from getting so distracted and scrolling endlessly. Like this is a problem because I have a lot to do in a day. I do not have time to get lost in the vortex of social media. It's not good for me mentally. It's not good for me time management wise. It's not good for me. So I need to work on that. So that is something that it's going to be an ongoing thing that I'm working towards, but I really, really, really want to delete it. I want to not have to go there ever. I want to just delete all of it and pretend it doesn't exist. Unfortunately, I can't because of my business and stuff, so like I'm stuck on social media for ever, I guess. But like I'm hoping I can be more intentional about my usage and not just like endlessly scroll for hours at a time. My final goal for this year is exercise. I hate exercise. Like I despise it. I don't like the way I feel when I'm exercising. I don't like sweating. Like sweating is like a sense, like I don't like it. It makes me feel so disgusting and gross and I hate it. I hate it. So I've been sitting here thinking, how can I make myself exercise? How can I be consistent with something that I despise? And I think what I want to do is try to do a daily walk. Now, starting this in January is probably a bad plan, but because I don't like the cold. I don't like being outside when it's cold. But you know, I do have coats, I do have gloves and hats and the things. Like I can bundle up. And that way I can at least get some movement in every day because I tend to be very sedentary and I know that is not good for my health. And I really want to work on healing as much as I can going into 2024. And this is a key component of that. Like I can do everything possible with my diet, but that's only half of the problem. So if I can figure this out, I feel like it's going to improve things a lot for me. So daily walks. I'm going to be making a page in my journal focused on this, and I'm hoping that it will help me and that I can be consistent with it. Wish me luck. So those are my goals going into 2024. Yeah, it's a year. It's another year. And I'm trying to make the best of it. So I do have good things to look forward to. I'm trying to focus on those things. Like Robbie is graduating in May. That's exciting. Sarah will be coming home in March. Also very exciting. I miss her like crazy. So it'll be so nice to have her back. So like I do have things to be excited about. So I'm going to try to focus on the happy. And book club is going to be really fun going into this year because Tanya's going to be doing it with me, and that's going to be super fun. So like I do have good things to look forward to. It's not all doom and gloom in 2024. Let me know in the comments, like, do you have any goals that you're excited about? Like I don't do resolutions anymore because I feel like a resolution is not helpful. But making goals, realistic goals and plans, I think is a way better way to go about it. So let me know some of your goals and plans for the new year. Thanks so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you guys in my next one. Happy reading. Bye!